This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Wednesday, May 28th, 2025, and we're so glad you can join us for today's show. In today's episode, I will be joined by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net for our closing markets today. But first, I am joined by Preston Huser with CLAAS Farm Point, as he tells us about CLAAS Farm Point's expansion into the state of Iowa and plans for the future. Mark Magnuson on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm joined now by Preston Huser. He is the complex manager at the Fort Dodge location for CLAAS Farm Point. And Preston, first of all, could you please refresh us on exactly what CLAAS Farm Point has brought to the state of Iowa with a different kind of a dealership experience?
Yeah. We're here to be a little bit of a disruptor in the market, do things a little differently. So no secret, I think everybody knows that some cat dealers and a little bit of dealership change in the network has affected CLAAS. So as the departures happened, CLAAS kind of took a step back and formulated the best plan to serve the areas that have been affected by this and some gaps in the market. That's how Farm Point was born, but we wanted to do things differently. Our approach is mobile first, right? So our technicians are dispatched from their home, each have a truck, each have special tools, each have a laptop. So we don't have dedicated shop and field technicians. Everybody dispatches from their house. So that's kind of the first unique difference. Second difference, I would say, is kind of our logistics back end. So again, we're covering a large part of the state with a couple locations. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we still offer quick, exceptional service to our customers with a limited footprint as far as brick and mortar? Co-located inventory on parts. So we have strategically placed parts inventories staged in different ways throughout the state that our technicians have access to, some automated systems to allow customers to have access to these parts. The real big thing that drove this is we needed to bring CLAAS back to the market, right? And Iowa, everybody knows, is a great market. So a lot of focus from CLAAS all the way up to the top on the state of Iowa. So the theme is to grow America, and within that is to grow Iowa. So that's really how Farm Point Iowa was born. Again, we're different. We are less focused on brick and mortar, taking that overhead and try to redistribute it into things that actually make a difference in the farmer's operations. Again, special tools on each technician's truck. Each technician that we have running are certified master technicians. So we're coming to you and we're bringing exceptional service and exceptional training and exceptional relationship skills behind that to the market in Iowa.
When we first started talking with CLAAS about Farm Point, we had the locations. We knew that they were in Indiana and Kentucky. Now, of course, you've expanded into Iowa. Could you tell us a little bit about the timeline for that expansion here in the state of Iowa and why it was important to come to the Hawkeye State?
Yeah, so Farm Point started in Indiana, Kentucky area 2 years ago. So they're just about to celebrate their second birthday in Indiana, Kentucky this July. That was a proof of concept, right? It worked. Customers received us well. Our dealership model worked. Our back-end logistics worked. So with that, again, with a departure for a large cat dealer in Iowa, there's a big gap. So the second stage was to move in Iowa. So we have Lamar's open and operational, again, a temporary location in Barnum, and then a permanent location we will be moving into shortly in Fort Dodge. With that, the expansion hasn't stopped. North Dakota was also in a similar situation with another dealership network. We have moved into North Dakota currently with one location operational in Jamestown, North Dakota, and be moving shortly into the Devil's Lake area.
So, Preston, it's easy to see how the operation works if, let's say, a farmer has a breakdown in the field and then they know what to send for, and then CLAAS Farm Point is able to meet them where they are and help fix that problem. Let's say, however, they don't know what went wrong. Does CLAAS bring those diagnostic tools out to the farmer to help figure it out?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have a system called CLAAS Connect, which allows us to, I call it proactive service. We are able to monitor your machine, monitor DTCs, and proactively approach customers intending to before a large failure happens. So we're trying to get ahead of it at the beginning through some technology that our machines offer on board in base. And we're trying to build on that and again, be proactive and then try to forecast also, right? If we know what the failure is, we know what to bring. We know how many guys we're going to need. We know how long it's going to take. So we can really forecast the repairs, forecast what we need to send as far as parts, forecasts as far as manpower and distribution of people getting on that job. So we take the proactive approach. CLAAS has embedded those tools in their machines, and we're utilizing them every day.
So for those farmers in Northwest, Western Iowa that have utilized the Lamar's location and the farmers in Central Iowa with Fort Dodge, what have been their reviews about CLAAS Farm Point? What have they liked about CLAAS Farm Point coming to them?
Yeah, I think the attention that we give them is something that they're not used to. We treat all farmers the same. If you're 100 acres or you're 10,000 acres, you're equally as important to us. So I think that's refreshing. We are focusing on growing Iowa as well. I mean, we've got a great product with our large Lexion combines, but we've also got a great product with our smaller Treon combines, which fits the smaller Class 6 market, something that's kind of been, in my opinion, forgotten about a little bit with some of the manufacturers. So we're bringing great products to the market. We're bringing great service to the market. We're bringing a little bit different way of doing things to the market. Another example is my salesmen aren't commission paid, right? So we're focused on building relationships, not just hunting for checks. So from top to bottom, how we deal with a customer, how we work them through our sales cycle, our attention to them, we just try to come as a partner, not so much as a B2B style business. I mean, this is B2B, but we want to be partnered with the business, not just here to get a check off you, if that makes sense.
And then Preston, I know you mentioned that the northern part of Iowa is really the coverage area. How far does that extend to the east? Are there any plans for expansion in the state, and just anything else you'd like to let our viewers know about CLAAS Farm Point?
Yeah, as of right now, the footprint in Iowa is constantly being adjusted. There are some things on the horizon as far as the eastern side of the state. So let's say like draw a line north and south from Waterloo. We've got some great long-standing third-party dealers in that area that have proven themselves to the market and are very favorable with CLAAS. Our attention is to not step on those. We definitely want to work with them. So the northeast part of the state has been covered by a longstanding dealer, as well as the southeast part of the state. So we're covering, if you draw a line Waterloo north and south, move that west to the state line in Nebraska, that's pretty much our area of coverage to this point.
Preston Huser with CLAAS Farm Point, located at the location in Lamar's. Preston, thanks so much for the time here today. Always fun to learn more about this enterprise from CLAAS, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for having me. Go CLAAS.
Thank you to Preston Huser of CLAAS Farm Point for joining today's show. Up next, it is the closing markets, but first, a word from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Time now for closing markets here on Ag Matters PM, and I'm joined now by Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. Cory, how did we trade today here on Wednesday?
Hey, Mark, good seeing you again. Market's a little lower here today, a little disappointing. We had yesterday afternoon USDA come out with their first crop condition report for the corn crop and kind of surprised us. They come in here with 68% of the crop rated good to excellent. Traders are looking 73 to 74% good to excellent, so a little less. The laggards there were the state of Ohio and then the Dakotas. North Dakota and South Dakota were the three states that were really kind of pulling the numbers down. And being from South Dakota, I can attest, I know exactly why our crop was rated a little low. So, but, with that, we had July corn closing down the day about 8 cents and December corn down 3 to 4. It's a little disappointing. I thought we'd be a little bit higher off those conditions. They were last night, but we just couldn't hold the momentum here today. So soybeans, they continue to get planted. The pace slowed down just a little bit. We did see 50% of the crop has emerged now. So next Monday, we should get our first crop condition score for the soybean crop. So that'll be something to look forward to here this coming Monday.
And what have you made of those recent weather reports and what it looks like for the Corn Belt here in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, the weather here, I think, is a lot of what's driving this market here. When I look at the weather forecasts, we are looking to be here up in the Dakotas. We got a lot of rain the last couple of weeks, last 10 days, I should say. But we need to dry out and warm up, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I think the bulk of the Corn Belt is going to dry out and warm up here the next 7 to 10 days. Then I think in the extended forecast, in that 7 to 10 day forecast, it does look like another shot of rain kind of coming for, the upper plains, the Dakotas, Minnesota, Nebraska, into Iowa, looks like. So for the most part, Mark, I mean, the crop is planted. It's 68% rated good to excellent. That weather forecast suggests to me that those crop conditions will increase here next week, and we could be off to a very good start here of this crop year.
Over on the other side of the ag marketplace, how did the cattle and hogs trade today?
Yeah, cattle, end of the day, a little bit lower here, about $1.20 lower on the live cattle. Feeder cattle down around, $2.50 to $3. We just not a lot of news yesterday or here today. Yesterday, we kind of had that scare in the market with a false rumor, and that's what it was. It's just a false rumor of a screwworm outbreak in the U.S. But that again, it's just a rumor, and that caused the market to sell off. We did a little damage to the chart. And I think, now the market's just being a little hesitant because I think yesterday is just a glimpse of if we get one of those headlines, Mark, like that, and it's actually true. Look at the market did just yesterday. We did bounce back off those lows, but it's going to be tough to recover from that, if or when that would happen to come about here in the U.S.
And what about the hog side? Did they hang in there?
Yeah, hogs have had a nice run here. They we're up over $1 here today. We had actually June live lean hogs actually closed over $100 here today. So we're seeing good things here on the hogs. We're seeing product the prices move a little bit higher. We're seeing the packers are looking for some numbers here. So all in all, cash seems to be moving higher, and hogs are just in a good situation here, I think, compared to when you look at what the price of beef is compared to a pork price. I think it's time we see that. It might be about time we see those two prices come together a little bit.
And we'll certainly take any good news on the hog side as we get ready for World Pork Expo in Des Moines next week. And hopefully everyone will be in a good mood as we meet up for World Pork Expo. He is Cory Bratland of agmarket.net. Cory, what's the best way for our viewers to get in touch for more marketing information?
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of us, there's a couple ways. You can head on over to our website, which is agmarket.net, or else give us a call on our toll-free number, which is 844-424-6758.
Cory, thanks so much for the time. Always appreciate it, and have a great rest of your day.
You too. Thanks, Mark.
Thank you to Cory Bratland of agmarket.net for joining today's show. For our closing markets, let's take a look at the closing numbers, and you can find that market information anytime under the Markets tab of our website at iowaagnet.com.
July corn closes down 8.5 at $4.51 even. July soybeans down 14 cents at $10.48.5. July soybean meal down $2.60 at $2.93.70. July soybean oil down 64 cents at $48.93. Chicago wheat up 1 3/4 at $5.30 1/4. Minneapolis wheat up 7 cents at $6.03 1/4. Kansas City hard red wheat up 3/4 cent at $5.25 1/4. July oats up 10 cents at $3.70 even. On the Merc, June live cattle down $1.20 at $213.93. August feeder cattle down $2.53 at $295.63. June lean hogs up $1.18 at $100.28. June pork cut out unchanged at $105.68. Class 3 milk closes down 29 cents at $19.32.
That wraps up our closing market coverage for today and brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can follow us on social media at Facebook, X, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let you know whenever we have any new videos available for you. You can also listen to our morning, midday, and closing market podcast, as well as our daily episodes of our Iowa Ag Matters podcast on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. For Riley Smith, Dustin Huffman, and Andy Peterson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.